So I decided to do a response video to Jake the Asshole's video titled Jake the Asshole versus Fight the Flat Earth. Now, normally I don't even bother with responses to Flat Earthers, but in this case, I had to make an exception because Jake the Asshole makes threats of violence against FTFE, so I couldn't in good conscience ignore it. Seriously, feeling a need to threaten people with violence to prove your point only further weakens your already lame argument. And as you'll be able to see in this video, nowhere, and I mean nowhere, does Jake the Asshole make any valid arguments, only ever resorting to name-calling, ad hominems, slander, poisoning the well, making fun of FTFE's physique, implying without any evidence whatsoever that FTFE is a paid shill, and threatening to beat him in a fight under the guise of being a challenge. Seriously, Jake, that's a definite no-no, and I'm quite surprised YouTube hasn't already banned you permanently for making threats of violence against other people. Anyway, on with the video.
To be a flat earther, you have to ignore most of reality, including advances in technology. Advances in technology allow us to accurately measure the curve of the Earth, the spin of the Earth, gravity, and even the tiny IQ of the average globe denier.
Actually, fat boy, that is incorrect. Space travel technology has regressed over the last 50 years.
Regressed how?
You know, they say they went to the moon in 1969, but they've lost and destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
A painful process perhaps, but not impossible. Therein lies the first flaw of your argument.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
And see, I get my information from a NASA astronaut, not some credentialless fat tard like you who runs his mouth on the internet and has absolutely no proof of anything that he's talking about.
That, sir, is projection, typical of flat earthers.
Oh, but please continue.
One of the biggest advances in technology in recent years has been the incredible leaps in space travel technology, and with that comes the advent of civilian space travel.
There is no such thing as space travel.
Just because you don't believe in or understand something doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Nor is there a such thing as civilian space travel. Any form of space travel is all just a bunch of bullshit and space fakery.
How come you flat earthers are never able to prove any of that? All you've got is your own personal incredulity, nothing more.
Civilian space travel is really annoying to the flat earthers. With it becoming cheaper, more accessible, and happening virtually every month, it's getting harder and harder to ignore. That's why we are going to point and laugh as we watch flat earthers freak out because Captain Kirk went to space for episode 63 of Flirfs Are Idiots.
No, that's incorrect. What we are going to do is laugh at you and your big fat man tits, bro.
Now you're attacking his physique? That's still not a valid argument, or any argument at all for that matter.
Maybe you should worry about hitting the gym rather than focusing all your attention on debating flat earthers all day. But then again, that's what shills do.
Childish name-calling. And where's your proof he's a shill? How do you even define what a shill is?
So I've chosen 3 for you. Here's the first, from Jake, the asshole.
Thank you, pal.
Shut up.
So the first part of the space fakery goes like this. Show video clip of rocket taking off. Then cut to the crew inside of said rocket ship as they begin to float. Now, just because you have a clip of a rocket and then a clip of some people floating does not mean the two are taking place on the same rocket ship.
So, let me get this straight, Mr. Asshole. Your great debunk is video editing exists, therefore it's fake.
Actually, Captain Soy Boy, that was the very beginning of my long explanation of why it's fake. You see, video editing does indeed exist, and I see you know how to use this video editing technology because you put up a CGI spinning ball right next to your fat head, And then you also put yourself in space with a bunch of CGI stars, so therefore you are using the same technology that they can use to fake us out. So the fact you are admitting that the technology exists is a step in the right direction. The fact that you deny that they are using it is because you are a professional globe cuck and a paid shill.
Where's your evidence for that? You have none because there is none. If he is being paid, where are the check stubs and receipts? And once again, you still haven't proven that these shots were fake or CGI. All you've done is repeat yourself ad nauseum.
Brilliant.
How are we to know that that clip of the crew floating is indeed taking place on that same rocket ship which they showed us a clip of a rocket ship taking off? How do we know the two things are the same thing?
It appears Mr. Asshole's entire argument is personal incredulity. Well, Jake, I've never seen a video clip of your brain, so how the fuck am I to know you've actually got one?
Well, fight the fat ass, that's just a personal attack, and it does nothing to prove your stance.
Nice projection there, kiddo. And again with the name calling, why don't you grow up?
I'm cool with trading personal attacks because you're fatter than me, you're uglier than me, you're stupider than me.
He is definitely not stupider than you. Again, you are projecting because you are jealous of someone being smarter than you.
And you're an evil, no-good piece of shit globe cuck shill.
Again with the name calling and personal attacks and still nothing resembling a rebuttal? What's wrong with you?
So if you want to trade punches back and forth verbally, I have no problem. In fact, I would trade real punches with you if you would ever grow a pair of balls and want to fight me for real.
Oh my god, did you just physically threaten someone, Jake?
But you look like a feminine little soy boy. Excuse me, I shouldn't say little. You look like a big, fat, hefty tub of lard soy boy feminist, lefty, liberal tard muffin.
So what if he does? It doesn't mean he's wrong.
And I would have no problem squashing you if you ever came here to America. So open challenge to you, soy boy. If you ever want to step in a cage and throw down MMA style on street beefs, I will fight you any day. So if you ever want to put your money where your mouth is and actually fight a flat earther, come on, fight the flat earth. Put your money where your mouth is and come fight one. Let's see what happens.
That's not the point of FTFE. He doesn't claim to physically fight flat earthers. He rather makes good counter-arguments against their claims. The only reason you're threatening to fight him physically is because you're angry he can debunk your flat earth claims with ease, and you have no rebuttals or anything resembling a valid argument.
Man, this guy's a fucking genius.
Also, it appears Shatner doesn't do much floating in any of these video clips, so it's as if they strapped him down and then let the younger chaps do all the floating and the flipping.
Well, yeah, Shatner is 90 years old. I imagine doing flips and stuff wasn't quite on his list of priorities. What do you want, to see Captain Kirk fighting an alien in the capsule?
No, we simply wanted to see evidence of him being in outer space. Yet there was only evidence of space fakery.
What evidence? You've shown nothing.
Also, you will be glad to know they took our advice. People were saying, why don't they look out the window? The last Blue Origin space flight had a bunch of people playing with Skittles. They were acting like children. They didn't seem to give a hot damn about what was out the window. So this time they made sure to make a big deal about what's out the window. In fact, they enlisted the services of professional actor William Shatner to specifically stare out the window and then be moved to tears.
Oh, Jake, I need to point out a big flaw in your thinking here. I love William Shatner. Obviously, I'm a Star Trek nerd. However, you don't really go to William Shatner for his acting skills.
So you are a self-admitted Star Trek nerd.
That doesn't prove he's lying or wrong. Star Trek is cool.
And you have a love affair with William Shatner.
No, that's not what he said. He never said he was in love with William Shatner, just that he is a great fan of his.
And you also agree that he is a shitty actor.
He didn't put it that far. You're exaggerating.
Yet you still believe he went to outer space. Yeah, see, that's where I know you are a lying, no-good government piece of shit.
Again, name-calling and ad hominems don't prove anything.
I think that you know he didn't go to outer space,
Why do you think that?
and you only do this to make a paycheck because you're an evil, lying, manipulative son of a bitch.
Again with the name-calling? This is getting old.
You know, when this is all said and done, you're gonna have to answer for your sins. Your day will come.
What sins do you think he's guilty of? And who died and made you judge over people's souls?
500,000 years.
You know, we aren't there inside the rocket, but we can see out the window. Looks like some white, hazy shit to me. Doesn't look like anything beautiful.
I mean, personally, I would imagine that seeing Earth framed against the blackness of space is pretty beautiful.
No, see, we can kind of see out the same window, and it looks like some white, hazy shit, actually. Not pretty beautiful.
Maybe that's because the video quality isn't all that good?
I'd give anything to see that. Jake, are you going to provide any evidence that this isn't real, or are you just going to cry?
I actually did 3 different videos on my channel and showed lots of different evidence and breakdowns.
You didn't show any evidence that cannot be chalked up to a flat earther throwing a temper tantrum to try and cope with his whole belief system being destroyed by facts.
The problem with you professional globe cucks is you deny all evidence and you don't accept anything as evidence.
Again, you flat earthers were always good at projection, as your comment shows.
It's as if you want a written confession signed in blood from NASA or Jeff Bezos or anyone who ever fakes space travel.
No, Jake, that's a straw man and a slippery slope fallacy, and you know it.
The written, signed confession in blood doesn't exist, and I know that's the only thing that you accept. For instance, if you show a professional globe cuck a picture of the lunar module and you say it looks like a piece of crap, it looks like it's a homeless tweaker shelter, they say, "Whatever are you talking about?"
Now you're mocking English accents as if that's somehow proof that you're right? Just like how Nathan Thompson tried to prove flat Earth by repeating scientific facts with a sarcastic, goofy, mocking Southern accent and thinking that was proof he was right?
It looks like a well-built, well-constructed spaceship.
Have you ever even bothered to look up the lunar module and learn what it was built of and how it was built? Or have you been wasting your internet privileges looking up tinfoil hat websites that reinforce your delusional thinking?
And another problem with these professional globe cucks is anytime you bring up the use of CGI or video manipulation, any sort of video editing in any sort of way, they completely deny it in every instance. And they say, just because you think it's CGI doesn't mean it's CGI.
And yet you still have no proof against their rebuttals, which further weakens your already lame argument. And again, with the childish accent mockery. Don't you have any originality? Oh wait, who am I kidding? Of course you don't. You're a flat earther.
Just because you say it's fake doesn't mean it's fake. This is actually personal incredulity.
So you just repeat what they said in a mocking voice. Again, that doesn't prove anything.
So then their little minions come over to my page and they say, "Hey, where's your evidence?" while they're looking at the evidence that they dismissed.
No, you haven't provided any evidence to back up your points.
And then they say personal incredulity because this fat ass used the word.
I'm surprised you had the brain power to learn to say the word incredulity, even though you clearly have no rebuttal to the points being made against you.
So Jake goes on for a while more, showcasing some impressive denial and personal incredulity skills.
Take a look to your right. Let's see it again. And a little slower and closer now. Did you see it? Look again. Now really, really slow. Pay very close attention to what you are seeing.
And here I thought Eric DeBay was the only flat earther who talked in a hypnotic monotone voice as if he's trying to brainwash and indoctrinate people into believing in flat earth.
what's happening here, Jake? Something that is in a place that is currently experiencing weightlessness is floating. No matter how slow you show it, that's what it looks like.
Now ask yourself, is that augmented virtual reality? Such as an object that only exists in virtual reality?
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
In 2012, NASA got tired of faking weightlessness by using the zero-G plane, better known as the vomit comet. So in 2012, they started soliciting companies that specialize in real-time augmented virtual reality so that they can fake weightlessness and floating objects in the air in real time. Simply the cost of the plane and the safety concerns and the fact that they weren't very good at it. They didn't go to Hollywood, which most of Hollywood's effects are post-processing. That's after the video is made. They needed something they can do in real time and make it look realistic. And so I'll put this link in the description. They found a company called Telemetrics. Thank you, Debbie Duran, for bringing this to my attention. After I researched this, lo and behold, I found out our government has a contract with these people. And Telemetrics, basically what they do is they help news teams and they bring broadcasts together in real time, and they're able to create sets, cities, anything you want in a virtual reality world and make it look absolutely 100% real. They're also able to bring different people from around the world, put them in the same room and broadcast live, give them desks, whatever they need to make the broadcast. So it's a pretty amazing company. Here we see Johnson Space Center Telemetrics provided latest camera robotics technology to NASA's government television at Mission Control. Why do you need to fake virtual reality sets at Mission Control and Johnson Space Center?
Who says they are faking anything?
I think we know the answer to that when we saw Tim Peake on the gridded blue screen. Show you some of the contacts. We're going to see Tim Peake with his contacts in, but these are virtual reality contacts overlaid on the eyes so actors can interact with things in 3D space, all in real time.
You want me to ask myself if that's augmented virtual reality? Okay. Hey, future me. What is there? Is there an emergency? No, not really. I've just got a question. Is the floating object in the Shatner Blue Origin flight video augmented virtual reality? Are you fucking kidding me? No, of course not. Does it look like they're wearing virtual reality headsets? Yeah, that's what I thought. Thanks. You can go now.
Yeah, a headset isn't needed by the viewing audience at home who sees a fake floating object on the screen. What we see on the screen at home is not a reality for what's actually happening there. And this is what bothers me most about globetards, is that they are purposely intellectually dishonest with their audience, and that they lie to their audience to get them to believe that this sort of technology is definitely not being used. It doesn't even exist. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Augmented virtual reality? What a preposterous notion.
That floating object doesn't look fake to me, and the video quality being so poor doesn't prove it is fake.
There's no such thing as augmented virtual reality. And then he goes on to use nothing but a bunch of special effects and CGI in his own video. So this Fight the Fat Gourd likes to use a bunch of CGI and special effects, but then he pretends that the government or these billionaires would never use that same technology to lie to you.
Why would they lie, though? I've never heard a flat earther give an answer to that.
It's intellectual dishonesty, and he's doing it on purpose. And his stupid brain-dead audience eats it up.
Again, projection.
Well, there you have it, folks. I wish there was more of an argument to break down, but Fight the Fat Ass's only argument is, it's not fake, it's real. It's really real. Captain Kirk went to space. Why don't you believe Jeff Bezos and Captain Kirk? They have no reason to lie. That's his only argument.
No, it's not. He clearly gives evidence to back up the facts, and now you're deliberately misleading the audience by misrepresenting his argument, and you accuse us of intellectual dishonesty.
He is a admitted Star Trek nerd who admittedly has a love affair with William Shatner.
Again, no, you're grasping at straws to make that claim.
He's also a professional globe cuck. That's his profession, is actual globe cucking.
Again, where's your proof he's being paid?
And we're supposed to act like this man is going to take any evidence that I present seriously?
Well, you flat earthers are an incredulous, ignorant lot, so it does make one wonder why anyone would take you seriously.
It's his job to dismiss all evidence.
Projection, projection, projection. Also wrong.
And these are the same guys who want to debate all day over the shape of the earth. And they commonly want to challenge me to a debate.
No, you're actually a really small fish in a really big pond. You're also inept at debating.
Meanwhile, why would I want to debate a lying, manipulating, intellectually dishonest shitbag?
Because you actually are one and he's not? Or maybe because you're inept at debating? Take your pick, noob.
Who's going to troll me and lie during the debate?
More projection.
Seems like I'd rather punch you in your stupid, ugly, fat soy boy face.
Wow, what a wonderful person you are.
So I'll tell you what, fight the fat ass. I challenge you to a real fight. You wanna fight the flat earth?
I'm pretty sure his intentions are not to get in physical fights, but to fight the ideology of flat earth in a metaphorical way.
Well, I consider myself a globe skeptic and not a flat earther.
Globe skeptic is just a code word for flat earther trying to sound rational and intelligent, neither of which any flat earther is.
But for the sake of this fight, we'll go ahead and give you your fight the flat earth. You see this fist? Looks a lot like your logo. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is?
Because that's not what he means when he says fight the flat earth.
Why don't you grow a pair? If you have any, soy boy.
Nothing says I'm insecure about my own masculinity like insulting another's masculinity. Just saying.
Ma'am, why don't you grow a pair, have your subs, fund you a trip out here to California, and we can scrap and do MMA in a cage and throw some punches and some kicks, and we'll see which one of us falls down and doesn't get up anymore. Bet it would be you, soy boy. So open challenge to fight the flat earth, open challenge to Simon Dan, open challenge to Mick Toon, Godless Engineer, or Team Skeptic. Any one of you chump stains wants a piece of me for real? I'm game.
You can't win an ideological argument, so you challenge people to a physical fight instead? That's not a very smart move for someone who wants to keep his channel up, lad.
But I've already made this challenge like a week ago, and not one of you sissy boys has accepted.
It's not a challenge, it's an insult, and I'm insulted that my species includes specimens like you. If we as a human race depended on flat earthers like you to carry on our genes, we'd become extinct in a generation or less. Thankfully, you guys never procreate, or if you do, not in significant enough numbers to make a difference.
So I don't expect you to accept a challenge to a real fight. But you just go ahead and keep that fist as your logo. And you just keep acting like you're some tough, scary guy. Because we both know you're about as scary as the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man. In fact, the Marshmallow Man's a lot scarier than you.
Personally, I've never thought the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man was scary. In fact, it's pretty easy to see why he's popular with children. But all that aside, I don't think FTFE or any of the others you challenged is trying to be scary. They scare you because the facts they present are destructive to Flat Earth.
So, fight the fat ass. If you ever want some, come get some.
I don't think he does. After all, he has better things to be doing with his life than wasting time with you.
Until then, keep on shilling, bitch.
Wow. Just wow. Sorry to all my normal viewers who had to put up with this video, but I felt it was necessary to address. And Jake the Asshole, if you are watching this and decide to make a response video, please do not fill the video with ad hominems, name-calling, poisoning the well fallacies, ad nauseum fallacies, personal incredulity, or threats of physical violence. If you do, that will only further prove my point about you. You need to instead come up with an argument of substance. Now for an update. It seems that Fight the Flat Earth has allowed Jake the Asshole in his debates, and boy, what a nuclear dumpster fire it was. Jake the Asshole spent the entire time doing name-calling, personal attacks, and mostly talking over the others. But not once did he offer a single valid argument to prove his opponents wrong. And once again, he kept demanding that FTFE come and fight him in California.